second grade. Today we are going to go over a little bit of measurement. We're going to review the concept of perimeter for you quickly, and then we're going to introduce the new concept of area. Right now I've got two shapes here, and we're going to pretend that these are our backyards. So it's the exact same size, but I divided them up into I divided this area one into squares, and the perimeter I kept open and blank. I also did them in two different colors, so hopefully you can keep track of them. Before I go over these two concepts, I'm going to sing a quick song, which is something that is helpful for me to remember the differences of perimeter and area, and you are welcome to sing along if you know it, and if not, then hopefully it's something that can help you learn how to differentiate between these two. Okay, so it goes to the tune of Welcome to My House, and it goes a little bit like this. It says, welcome to my house, we can find perimeter, take a walk outside and add up all the sides. Welcome to my house, now let's find the area, multiply the length times width, we don't have to go out. Welcome to my house, welcome to my house. All right. So in that song, the first thing I said was perimeter. I said, let's take a walk outside and add up all the sides. The reason we would need to find the perimeter of something is if in my backyard, I wanted to put a fence up and I wanted to fence in my whole backyard, I need to figure out how much the entire outside of my yard is. I don't care about the inside right now because all I'm going to do is put my fence around the outside. So if I measured this, if I took a measuring tool and I measured and I found that the width is 2 and the length is 3, I know that the opposite side is the same, so I've got 2 on the width and I've got 3. I'm just going to add up all 4 of those numbers. So I'm going to say my perimeter is 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3. And if I'm doing that, I can say this is 5, 2 plus 3 is also 5, 5 plus 5 is 10. So my perimeter would be 10 and my label would be whatever I was measuring in, whether it be feet or inches or squares. So that was the perimeter of my backyard. Okay, for the next problem, we are going to find something called area. I drew the exact same yard here, but instead of trying to find the outside measurement like we would if we were covering our yard or putting up a fence around our yard, right now I have all dirt in my backyard and I really want some nice grass. So I'm going to need to figure out the area, which means the inside measurement of how big my yard is, to figure out how much grass or how much sod I'm going to put down. Now, if we were in class, we would give you square tiles and we would ask you to cover your entire backyard shape with square tiles. And you would cover it so it's completely covered, and then the number of squares would help determine your area. Now, for this shape, I broke it up and I put squares of my sod down, and I found that I have 2 rows. I see 2 in this row of sod, and in each row I see 1, 2, 3. So I have 3 pieces of square sod going across, and I have 2 going down. To find the area, you just need to multiply those 2 numbers. So you need to multiply the number of rows, which would be 2, times the number in each row, which is 1, 2, 3. 2 times 3, or 2 groups of 3. So we could say 3, 6. So our area is 6 square tiles. But remember, when you're multiplying, you can flip-flop those 2 numbers, and so we could also have done 3 times 2. We could have multiplied 3 times 2, and it's the same answer. 2, 4, 6. 6 square tiles. So our area is multiplying the 2 sides to figure out how much material is inside our shape, and our perimeter was adding up the outside shape numbers to figure out the length or the measurement of the outside of a shape. So in your work packs for the next couple weeks, anytime you have an area problem, you just need to remember to either count the squares and figure out how many squares that shape was divided into, or you need to multiply the number of squares on one side by the top number. You'll get the same answer. All right, in math, if you guys remember, we say every good mathematician needs to put a label with their answer. So here, I just put the perimeter as 10 and the area as 6, but that would not be counted correct in our classes. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you what types of labels we're looking for when we're measuring perimeter and area. When we're measuring perimeter, we are going to look for a label of whatever unit of measurement you used. So if you are measuring this perimeter in inches, your answer would have been 10 inches. When we're measuring area, however, we are talking about measuring the squares of the inside of the shape. We are going to call this square units. So if you are measuring this yard in inches, which would be a very tiny yard, it would be 6 square inches. You're going to add that word square before your measurement, your unit of measurement. If we were measuring perimeter and every one of these sides we were measuring in feet, this answer would be 10 feet is the perimeter. But when we're measuring area, it would be 6 square feet. And then also same thing with yards. If we were measuring according to yards, we would say this is 10 yards. And this area of this shape would be 6 square yards. You're going to notice on your math sheets, however, there is no standard unit of measurement, so they're going to call your label square units. So when you're doing your area, you're going to count how many square units make up the inside of each shape. That's your math lesson for today.